God's mercy to the children of believers. On the other hand, the promise is given that God will extend his mercy upon those who love him to 1,000 generations. This is a common saying in Scripture and is included in the solemn covenant which God makes with his church. I will be your God and the God of your descendants after you. Solomon had this in mind when he wrote that after the righteous die, their children will be blessed, not only because they have been well nurtured and instructed, which in human terms greatly contributes to man's happiness, but because of the blessing which God had promised his servants, that his grace will dwell forever in their families. This is of particular comfort to believers, but must greatly alarm those who do evil. For if, in God's sight, the recollection of righteousness and iniquity is so powerful that the blessing of the one and the curse of the other extend to a man's posterity even after his death, how much more will he who has lived a good life enjoy God's endless blessing, and he who has lived an evil life be cursed? This is not belied by the fact that sometimes good people come from wicked stock, and conversely, that from among believers the wicked may emerge. For it was never the Lord's purpose here to lay down a perpetual rule which would inhibit his right to choose. It is enough both to console the righteous and to terrify the sinner, that this pronouncement is neither empty nor unimportant, even though it does not always take effect. For just as the temporal punishments which God visits on some are proof of his wrath against sin, and tokens of future judgment which will come upon all sinners, though many in this present life go unpunished, so the Lord displays his blessing by continuing to show his grace and goodness for their Father's sake to the children of believers, and thus testifies how firm and everlasting is his mercy to his servants. By contrast, when he one day visits the sins of the father on the son, he demonstrates how severe is the judgment which awaits the wicked for their own sins, for such is his chief concern in this passage. Besides, he means us to understand, incidentally as it were, how great is his mercy which he extends to 1,000 generations, whereas he confines his vengeance to only 4 generations.